Hey David, I got a question.
Is it drug related, Aunt Nuna?
I do have a life outside of that. You and your assumptions.
I'm sorry, Aunt Nuna. What is it?
Do you ever think about the people you'll spend your final moments with?
That's dark and kind of deep. What brought this thought up?
Oh, it's just hanging outside and sunbathing and listening to the cicadas, and the thought just hit me. Who are those people going to be when, your time is up?
I suppose it crosses my mind every now and then, but I tend to think more about, what's my own funeral going to look like. I think my sister has like a list of everything I've ever mentioned.
What does that look like?
Oh, usually I just imagine epic death scenes from movies, except it's me in the scene and, like, not the actual main character. For some reason, I tend to go to that ending scene in Terminator 2 Judgment Day a lot.
Wow, and I thought I had an inflated ego.
But what do you mean by the people in your final moments?
When you're at your final moments, there are going to be people who, you've known forever, some people who've gone before you, and there are some people who you haven't even met yet. I mean, people who haven't even been born. I don't know. It just really got to me.
That is pretty deep. But again, I gotta ask, what brought this up?
I've lived a pretty rough life, one of extravagancy and extremity. And I'm in my 50s and I'm like, what have I got to show for it? What of significance have I done?
Well, Aunt Nuna, I have an acquaintance who, had a brush with fame, realized it wasn't for them, and then decided to live a much more simple life. And, she's a lot happier for it. And she says her identity is in God, and, He's the only person that she really has to try to please. And she says that's her identity.
What do you think my identity is?
Well, you're Aunt Nuna. Maybe you're a little rough around the edges and you're rowdy and you cause a scene, but you always leave an impression and no one's ever going to forget about you anytime soon. And guess what? I'll always be here for you.
Thanks, David. I guess that's all I really needed to hear. Good night, everybody.